deals with the culture of coaching. So I want to jump right in this morning exploring what's the existing culture in your buildings, and does coaching fit into that existing culture? Do you see coaching changing a culture? And Roland Barth published an article in ASCD this past spring, and it's listed there on the screen. He talked about 4 different types of teacher relationships that you're likely to find when you show up at a school. He described them as parallel play, adversarial relationships, congenial relationships, and then collegial relationships. And I'd like to take a few moments to define each of those, and then ask you to take some time with people seated around you to talk about how would you describe the existing culture back in the buildings that you're working in. Okay? The first one that he identified was parallel play. Anybody got any early childhood background? Parallel play, that around age 2 and 3. If you watch 2 and 3-year-olds play, you might find 4 kids playing in the kitchen, but if you listen carefully, you'll find they're all making the main course. There's no connectedness between their play. Parallel play, you'll find a child kicking sand into the face of another child, but if you listen carefully, the child will explain he was not kicking sand in the face of another child. He was just making a sandstorm. The fact that some other child's face was in the vicinity isn't connected. They're isolated. So in many of our schools, teachers are engaged in what we might call parallel teaching. Okay? I teach 2nd grade here. Across the hall, they teach 3rd. And somewhere else down the other hall, they teach 5th. As a middle school teacher, I'm teaching science, and somebody else teaches math, and somebody else teaches social studies. And the fact that the student has 3 major projects due on the same day is not my fault, because I only assigned one of them. Okay? There's this disconnectedness between the teachers. Now, the second one he described is adversarial. And he stated that in most of our schools, it's not openly adversarial, but it's adversarial from teachers withholding information. Teachers have information that they don't pass on. So a teacher discovers a great math site for hands-on math, but the teacher tends not to send an email out to the 2 other elementary buildings in the district to let teachers know about this site. A middle school teacher is working hard with a student, makes a connection with the parent, has a breakthrough with the student, but the teacher doesn't go out of his or her way to make sure that other teachers who are working with the student has that important information. Or at the high school site, you might even find that the teachers' relationships become confrontational because of the structure of the school. We'd like students to take an extra year of a second language, but if they do, there's no place in their schedule for them to finish the vocational completer project. So by the way that teachers are going after students for their programs, you can actually put the teachers into that confrontational role, adversarial role. Now, the third one he described is congenial. And he said the good news for us is that in most of our schools, teachers are congenial. Okay? In most schools, we throw very nice baby showers. Teachers are awesome, generally in schools, teachers are awesome taking care of each other. If a teacher's having a problem in their personal life, the staff will really pull together and support that teacher. But you'll frequently find in those congenial relationships, we don't talk about what we're doing back in our classrooms and the work that we're doing with kids. We kind of keep that separate. Matter of fact, in some faculties, you'll find in the faculty room there's a container. And if during lunch you talk about a child, you have to put 50 cents in it. Okay? We have a tendency to separate that working environment from the friendship environment. Now, the last one he described, collegial. And he gave 2 statements that says how you could tell you had a collegial environment. And here were the 2. Number 1, you would constantly find teachers in other teachers' classrooms. So the more often you'd look up as a teacher and spot other teachers there in the classroom with you, the more you would know you've got that collegial environment. And second, most teaching decisions would be made with input from colleagues. So if you had a collegial environment in your school, after giving a math test, you'd likely have 2 or 3 other teachers looking at the results of the students' work with you to help you to decide what it was that I was going to do next. If I was struggling with a reader, I might ask 2 or 3 other teachers to listen to the child read, or to look at the results of an inventory I did with the child to assist me in making that decision. Okay. I'd like to stop now for